Good evening, Jeff Berger.
Richie Teinken. The music. Oh, welcome to Two Tired Twats Comedy Podcast. I am Patty Rossborough, and I'm here with my fellow podcaster, Carrie Carabas.
Hello, Patty.
Hello, darling. We have a very special guest today. This is our bonus content show. We have the owner of the comic strip, Richie Teinken, is here. Richie.
Yes.
Hi, Patty.
Hello, darling. Owner of the comic strip for what year?
It'll be 43 years in June.
43 years?
So you started back in the day when comedy first started.
Oh, that's an interesting story.
Yeah, how did it start? What you were...
Yeah, what made you do this? Because comedy was an iffy thing back then. It
No.
wasn't to open up a comedy club.
What happened was I used to own 6 bars in the Bronx.
6? Oh, my God.
And one of my bartenders was a guy by the name of Tony DeAndre. His picture's on the wall outside. Even now, he's the godfather to my 2 boys. Anyway, he did impressions, but he didn't do jokes. He just did great impressions.
Right.
So Monday nights in the Bronx was empty. So he said to me I'd have an audition at a place called Catch a Rising Star on First Avenue. On Monday, you think you should come. Now, to me, going downtown was like... But it was Monday night, and... So I grabbed a bunch of bartenders. Anyway, it wound up being 12 of us. And I had said to Tony, what time are you going up? And he said, 11:15.
Yeah.
I said, okay. So now it's 12 o'clock. Place is packed. And it's Monday night, and I'm looking at this going, oh, this is great. So
You're seeing dollar signs.
Yeah, dollar
No,
signs all over.
yes,
It's packed on a
yeah.
Monday.
Here's how I saw the dollar signs. So I said to him, Tony, we're getting drunk. You don't need 10 drunk guys from the Bronx here if you're auditioning. When are you going up? So he said, I'll find out. And then he came back and he said, I just spoke to the owner. The owner's name was Rick Newman.
Rick
yeah, Rick
Newman. I
Newman. He
remember
was-
Rick.
Yeah.
He was a big deal back in the day. He owned a bunch of clubs.
Oh, he's the head of entertainment at the Friars Club now.
Oh, he is?
Yeah. But he came back to me and said, I just spoke to the owner. I told him I was supposed to be up at 11:15 and I had 12 people here looking to see me. And he said, Tony, I'm not worried about customers. And I said, well, he's right. Look at this place.
Right, packed.
So we're driving home. And
Did you get to see him?
yeah. And so Tony says to me, you should open a place like this. And I was like, what the hell do I want to open up a place like this for? I don't know anything about this.
Right.
Now, all the places that I owned had bands. And I had to pay them $500 on a Friday or whatever.
Right.
So as we get to the Bronx, Tony says to me, you know, those guys don't get paid. And I was like, what?
That's the part you liked. You didn't have to
Yeah,
pay
he's
the
paying
comics.
$500 for the band. Like, those guys don't get
Comics
paid.
will work for free. That's the sad part.
Sad.
So I needed somebody that was in show business. And a friend of mine that owned a bar in the Bronx knew a lawyer by the name of Bob Wax.
Okay.
So I went to see him. And on the way down on 2nd Avenue, I said to my other partner, John McGowan, I said, we have to find a bar that was already a bar. And we just have to fix it.
Right, right.
He said, well, where are we going to find that? And I said, right there, when we were driving right by here. It was an old Irish place.
This was?
Yeah. It had no back room. I built this back room. But I said to him, stop. And we went around the corner. That's where the landlord is.
Yeah.
And I said to the guy, you think we could rent this place? He said, yeah. So we went around, and I said to him, well, now all my customers in the Bronx were construction guys.
Right.
So it's easy to fix.
Well, the joke of that is that I had so much that whole room was made of concrete. It can't burn.
What, the whole back room of the
Oh,
comic
that
strip?
room was pure concrete. They just kept delivering concrete. Finally, I said, guys, it's enough. But, so, the landlord said, yeah, we can rent it. I said, how much is it? And he said $1,200 a month or something, but that was 40 years ago.
That's a
high.
good, you think that's high?
No.
In New York City, that's pretty good,
It
1,200.
gets- Well, in those days, it was...
It was high.
So, when I realized there's no back room, I said to him, which was a stupid question, thinking back, I said, do you mind if we build a room back here? And he said, no.
Oh, yeah, because you're renting. He's probably like, yeah, fix my place up because you didn't own it.
So I thought to myself, I want to be able to seat a couple hundred people. But they also own the next building. So I said to him, who's got that backyard? He said, well, we have that. I said, well, can I rent that too? He said, yeah. That's why the room goes like that.
Oh, yeah, it has an L. It's an L shape. That's so
So
cool.
he charged me $200 a month for that.
Who was your first comic?
Oh, God. My original MCs were a guy by the name of Bob Kenny, who's still a comic. He calls himself Fibby Bob now.
Bob Kenny?
Larry Cobb, who committed suicide.
Larry, what's his name? Cobb?
Cobb, C-O-B-B.
He committed suicide? Why did he kill himself?
He was depressed.
Because he wasn't making it.
Because he wasn't making it in show
Yeah,
business?
comics are usually depressed.
Oh, my God.
And the other guy was Greg Monahan, who I just saw a couple years ago.
And what about all these big guys who came through here? Like, you had, I was looking at this list. Seinfeld, George Wallace, Chris Rock, Eddie Murphy, Paul Reiser, Adam Sandler, Louis C.K., Robin Williams. And then Tom Hanks, when he did Punchline, worked out here. Did you get to meet him? Was he nice?
Yeah, I have videos of him on my website.
You do?
Doing comedy. He's very funny.
He's funny.
He's so talented.
He's like
His
great
timing
at-
is unbelievable in all
Absolutely.
his
He
comics
does a lot
movies.
of jokes about Stallone, with Stallone's movies and stuff.
Yeah, Stallone's kind of. Hey,
So now wait, when you built the store, you built it out, you took over, and you opened up and you saw the chaos because this place was rocking it from.
Well, that's because we were there. It was me, Catch a Rising Star, and the Improv.
right. It was only 3 comedy clubs in
That
all
was
of New
it.
York.
That was it.
Now it's so different now. because
If you have a bakery now
Yeah.
and you're not doing good,
Yeah.
put comedy in.
See, that's how it used to be back in the day in New Jersey. Like, you would have the 3 clubs in New York City, but then every, like, dive bar in New Jersey
Right.
had a comedy club. So you'd have your home club in the city, and then you drive out in a car with 2 other comics, there'd be 3 of you, and you do all the shitty
Do
Jersey
you
rooms.
remember the Blotzos?
I remember the Balazzos. He got...
He got very sick.
he got very... Well, he gained a lot of weight, and then he got sick.
And he drank a lot. And
Yeah, yeah.
But
Yeah.
anyway,
And Adam Sandler, did you represent Adam Sandler?
for like 6 months.
What about but now
But he came back and did the show here. He filmed one of his specials.
his Netflix special he
Yeah.
did here.
So he's loyal. He's got.
Oh, Adam's great. Jerry was great.
They both shot their.
Jerry
Well,
Seinfeld.
Jerry did. Jerry before Seinfeld. So the reason the room looks like this now is that he wanted it to look the way it did when.
Right. So he came in.
He
and
changed the room around.
Changed the whole room around
Netflix.
because the stage was on there.
Right, Netflix did it.
Well, now what about Eddie Murphy? He's your big client, right?
Yeah.
How long did you manage Eddie Murphy for?
About 11 years.
11 years? You were with him in his heyday, I think.
Every-
Saturday Night Live, you got him on that.
If you watch Beverly Hills Cop, you'll see me at the end of it.
I know, I
Beverly
remember.
Hills Cop too.
I remember, and you're wearing a Hawaiian shirt in that, right? I remember.
Who's that black guy?
Now wait, I thought King Broda was his manager.
Nah, Broda was.
For 5 minutes, he just made him
He
sign.
wanted money.
Yeah.
So he got money out of him.
Yeah, just to get rid of him.
Because here's what King Broder did, right? Am I wrong? He would just take all these people in Long Island or wherever. He'd sign everybody, and it's
Right.
like the spaghetti hitting the wall. You throw
It's
the
like
spaghetti, something's going to stick.
Jamie Masada at the
Yeah, the Laugh Factory.
Laugh Factory.
Oh, Masada also did
If
that?
he likes you, he'll say, do you have a manager? And if they do, that's it. If they don't, he'll be a manager.
But Eddie stuck with you for a while.
Eddie was with me. We had a fight. That's why we broke up. Not a physical fight, but
What was your fight about? What'd you guys fight about?
Eddie was... Okay, it was about something that he was doing that I personally didn't like. There was a girl...
The
out in-
transvestites? No, because he got caught with transvestites.
I have a great Howard Stern story about that.
About the transvestites?
About Eddie being gay.
I think
Is he
Eddie
gay?
is gay. I think he's gay, right?
All right, let me tell you the story. and
Okay,
then
tell
we'll
us the
go
story.
back.
Lean into the microphone.
I was working
fine?
with
Oh, you're
I was working with Tony Rock,
Tony Rock,
Brother, the
Chris's brother.
Chris's brother, and
You were managing him, in other
Yeah.
words. Okay.
and I got Jackie Martlin
Okay.
was working on Stern Show,
Oh, right.
so I got Jackie to tell to get Tony on that, and I said to Jackie, under no circumstances tell Stern that I'm here, because Stern knew that I managed Eddie. And
Oh,
Eddie-
so Stern didn't know that you were there.
No,
Okay.
well, I'll tell you what, Tony gave me up, but
Okay.
we were just, I was in the green room because I didn't want to go in and watch him.
Okay.
And I had said to Tony, no matter what he asks you, do not tell him I'm your manager. And Tony was like, what? I said, because he's going to want me to be on the show. That was when everybody was suspicious of Eddie being gay.
Right.
So Tony goes on the show, and Stern says to him, so I guess I don't know if they asked you with that last name, and your brother's Chris, right? And Tony said, yeah. He said, so what, you're going to become a comedian just like your brother? And Tony said, well, I really would like to be.
And he's very funny.
Yeah.
He was
he's
very funny.
Very
Howard
funny.
says, you know, it takes a lot to be a comedian. You need a lot of things. You need an agent. You need a manager. Tony says, oh, I have a manager. Stern says, who? Tony says, Richie Teinken. I'm like, holy shit.
But Stern knows that you were Eddie's manager, right?
Oh, he wants to, I know he wants to ask me whether Eddie's a fag or not. So I hear that and I'm like, holy shit, I gotta get out of here. So Tony gets off and he comes back in the green room. I said to him, what's the matter with you? I said, let's go.
To Tony.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why? I said, because you told Stern I'm sitting in here. So he said to me, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't know. I said, well, let's get out of here. So we get out, we start walking down the hall. And Jackie Martin yells to me, Richie.
Out in the street or no,
No.
down the hall?
In the hall of the
Okay.
studio.
Okay.
So I said, hey, Jack, what's up? He said, Howard wants to know if you'll come on the show. And I said, let me explain something to you. This is not about me or Eddie or anything. This is about Tony.
Right.
That's why he's on it. I don't want to go on the show. Oh, come on. Tony says, why don't you go on? I said to him, shut the fuck up. So then I said, okay, I'll go on, because I knew what he was going to do. So I get on there, and Stern says to me, Stern says to the audience, and ladies and gentlemen, we have a man here that, you know, blah, 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 blah. I have one question I want to ask him.
He starts off with that.
The one question.
It's our one question.
So he says, Richie, I want to ask you a question. I said, go ahead. He said, is Eddie Murphy gay? And I said, no. So he says to me, Dad, you heard it. That's his manager. Nobody knows him better than this guy.
Right.
Were you lying?
So then he says to me, now the show's over.
Yeah.
And he comes over to me and he says to me, seriously, is Eddie gay? I said, Howard, let me ask you a question. How many listeners do you have? He said, I'm not sure. Last I counted was 4 or 5 million people.
Wow.
So I said, so you would expect me to say, even if Eddie is, you would expect me to say Eddie's gay?
Right, to out him.
He said, well, I said, well, first of all, I don't know whether he is or he isn't. But I'm not on the air anymore.
Right.
I said, well, you can believe I would not say whether he was or he wasn't. So that was the end of it. Now it's there to me.
So there's no
There's no
answer.
definitive answer for us either.
I don't know.
You don't know.
I hear a million things.
You know, I don't know if he's gay, but I think he might have gotten bored because he had so many women at his feet. He had women, right? He had women everywhere. So I think he
shocked.
got like bored and he
I-
wanted
I
trannies.
was shocked at what women. It got to a point where Eddie would send people out into the audience.
Yes.
What, to pick up girls?
Yes.
Tell girls to come back for
If they were pretty.
the party.
He was like a rock star that way.
He didn't like. If he didn't like your feet.
Feet?
Yeah.
He had to have pretty
was
feet
up.
on a girl?
He told me Whitney Houston didn't have nice feet.
Was he was he ever with Whitney Houston, do you think?
I was sitting in my office one day and Eddie was in his and Tom Cruise came in.
Tom
'Cause
Cruise?
We were on Paramount lot.
Right.
And he said, is Eddie here? And I said, why? He said, "Well, I just
He's
wanna-
gay."
I want to ask him something. So I said, we're a little busy right now. So he was in his office with Whitney Houston. So I said to him, tell me what it is and I'll find out. What's the word at Paramount was if you wanted to talk to Eddie, talk to Richie.
Right.
Because Richie only cares about Eddie.
Right.
Bob Watts cared about Bob Watts. But
So you were loyal to Eddie, and you were
Eddie-
like, you're not letting anybody mess with him. He was
Eddie
in
had
the room with Whitney. You're not messing that up.
Eddie asked me 3 times to manage him, and I told him no.
This is back when he was a teenager, he asked you,
He
right?
was 19.
19, yeah.
He asked me in my office here. And I kept saying no to him, and then he came in one night and said to me, come on, man, manage me. And he had Saturday Night Live then.
Wait, he wasn't on Saturday Night Live yet, though, right?
Yeah.
Oh, he was on it.
He
then.
was.
Well,
Okay.
that's another story, but
Okay.
I have a million of them.
Okay.
We were in Florida, and Saturday Night Live, Eddie had auditioned for it,
Okay. At 19, right?
and they passed on him.
Oh, yeah, they took the other guy,
Charlie
Charlie
Barnett.
Barnett. That's right.
Yeah, but Charlie had a heroin
He
problem.
did have a heroin
That
problem.
wasn't the problem. I'll
He
tell
had
you
another
what the
problem.
So I had a club in Fort Lauderdale that everybody loved because the acts were so bad that the condos wouldn't rent to them anymore. So I bought a house with a swimming pool. And so if you went to Fort Lauderdale, it was like going on vacation. So Eddie's down there, and I get a call, and it's from the talent director at Saturday Night Live, and they want to see Eddie, but they had already hired Charlie Barnett. So I said, why? And she said, well, we just would like to see him. I said, yeah, but for what? Because I knew Eddie by then. It's going to be tough to get him out of here.
Right.
So she said, well, we're thinking maybe we should put him on the show. So I said, well, you hired Charlie Barnett? And she said, yeah, we fired him. So I called Piscopo,
Joe Piscopo.
and I said, they fired Charlie Barnett.
He was very talented.
Oh, Piscopo.
No, Barnett, Charlie
Charlie
Barnett,
Barnett
was
was so
one of
funny.
the,
Here's the problem. I said, why'd they fire him? He said he couldn't read.
yeah.
To the teleprompter.
That's right,
You got to
he
read off the
couldn't read.
They handed
teleprompter.
him a script to
Oh, the poor-
rehearse, and he said, why don't you just tell it to me? And they said, because what we do here and what we do at 11 o'clock may not be the same.
That's right. They changed the scripts.
So he had to admit that he couldn't read.
Oh, the poor guy.
That was sad, right?
That is really sad because that's a guy
That was
who
so
was
talented.
so close. And so, I mean, I used to see him. I saw him in Long Island when he would
He was
he would go out into the crowd.
He was a street performer.
He was a street
He
performer
performed at
Central Park.
right, but he was also, I saw him one night at
down in the village.
right in the village at Washington Square.
He
Right.
worked here without a microphone.
Oh yeah, that's right. He wouldn't use a microphone. He didn't want to hold a microphone.
Now he had super talent, but then heroin got him.
Yeah.
Well, he did get it. He got a couple of movies like DC Cab or
Oh
something
yeah,
like that.
That's right. He did do that. But now Eddie Murphy, you did. You have a thing with the red leather outfit. He wore that in Delirious, right? That was
Yep.
the show Delirious.
I picked it out.
You picked out the red leather
We
outfit.
were in Washington getting ready to film,
Okay.
and Eddie was a big Elvis fan.
Okay.
So he says to me, man, I wish I could wear clothes like Elvis.
On stage.
So I said, why don't you? He said, because I don't want to wear that sparkly stuff.
Right.
So I said, what kind of material do you like? And he said, leather. So I went to a leather store.
Right.
And they had a jacket, but they didn't have the pants that matched it. The color was a little off. But HBO fixed it.
Well, how do they fix it?
They fixed the film so that...
Oh, they fixed the film to match the color.
So I came back and I said, here, try this on. So he put it on, he never took it off. Except one time he took it off, he made a big mistake doing it. I'll tell you what that is. Anyway, if you watch the Learys, you'll see me in the beginning because I had to give HBO. They didn't know when Eddie was going on.
Right.
So, and the people were out there screaming, Eddie, Eddie.
I know they went crazy.
So I said to HBO, he's got to go. And they said, well, we got to wait. I said, he can't wait. I'm telling you, he's got to go. And they said, well, we won't know when he's going. I said, look, when he's ready, I'll go like with my fingers to the camera. Then he'll go. So what you see on Delirious is me go like that. Eddie blesses himself, and up he goes.
Oh, okay. It's been so long since I saw it. Of course, I saw it when it came out. And
It's on
everything.
Netflix now.
But that red suit was like pow.
That really was a big deal with.
That red suit was that red leather
Comics
outfit.
didn't dress like that. You know what I mean?
One time we were on tour. I lived with Eddie. I mean, I stayed with him. And I did that because... Oh, I was telling you that he had asked me to manage him, and I turned him down.
Right.
And then finally he said to me, come on, man, why don't you manage me? I said to him, look at it, let me explain something to you. I left home when I was 13.
That's a
traveled-
weird story that you took off at 13.
Yeah,
That's
13.
very
I said
young.
I said I traveled everywhere. I ran the largest bingo hall in the world.
How old were you when you ran a bingo hall?
21, 20.
Oh my God.
Did you make money doing that?
Oh, I made good money. I was making $1,000 a week when my friends were making $80 working on Wall Street.
Wow. So
That's
you're
what-
loaded.
That's what made me go into the bar business.
Uh-huh.
You were always a hustler. You like a
Well,
bu-
he left at 13. My kid can't get off his iPad.
I don't understand leaving at 13. Like you had a place to live, or you stayed with friends, or what did you do?
They were going to put me in reform school because I had stolen a car.
Your father and your mother.
No, the court.
The court. You stole a car at the age of 13?
I wanted to drive a car. This guy, in the old days, the cars they used to have lock off and on. If you left your car on off, all I had to go with that, and it
Yeah.
started.
Oh my God.
So I would take this guy's car every night. I put an ash can in the parking spot. Travel around. and come back and park it. So the most he was missing was some gas, but in those days the gas was 25 cents a gallon.
Right.
And then I got caught. So they wanted me to. I'm in the middle. I was on probation,
Right.
so I had to be in at 7 o'clock every night, even in the summer. And I was like, I don't think so. It's the summertime. So I broke my probation, and then they switched probation officers on me, and the new guy said, I'm going to recommend to the judge that they send you to Warwick, which is a reform school.
Warwick?
Yeah.
Is that in Warwick, New York? Is that?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And you're there till you're like 18, and I was like, I don't think so. So I said, I'm getting out of here.
But did you tell your parents? Did you say?
I went to see my mother and father in a restaurant. And I told my mother that I was leaving. And she was all, oh, Richard. So then I said to my father, I said, Dad, look, I'm sorry that all this stuff has happened, but because my father was from a different time. He could never understand about rock and roll, although he agreed that Elvis Presley had a good voice.
So you're telling your parents you're leaving, and are they saying go, or are they saying don't go?
My father said to me, I've looked into these places. All I have on me is $50. Yeah, take
Oh
it.
my God!
I
Because he didn't want you to go to the reform
And
place.
get molested?
I know that's what would happen, probably, right?
Yeah, you seen that movie with Kevin Bacon?
Oh yeah, that. What is that movie? That was like horrible. Oh my God, The River something or whatever the hell that movie.
But
was.
anyway,
So you're still a wanted man,
I thought I was, well, what happened was
a wanted child.
I went to Boston.
Boston. Well, how do you get? So you have $50. You get on a train to Boston.
I stayed at the Copley Hotel, which is where they had the marathon where the shooting happened.
Oh.
But in those days, it was like $40 or something. And I got a job selling magazines around the country. And I said, this is a great idea.
At 13?
Yeah, 14 maybe, I don't know. But anyway,
But you can't live in a hotel by yourself.
no,
right?
if you went with this outfit, they put you up in a motel and, to sell magazines.
Oh, I see.
But they would never tell you where you were going the next time.
So you'd have to get on a bus to sell
The
magazines?
kid was a hustler. The kid didn't crumble and die. He moved on.
So where they took us the next time was Long Island.
Oh,
And
Carrie's
I was-
haunting ground.
I was like, oh, Long Island, that's close to home. So I came back, and I got a furnished room in the Bronx, so I was around.
You got a what in the Bronx?
A
Furnished room.
Oh, okay.
And I started hanging out with my friends again.
The bad ones?
But anyway, what happened was, I thought I was a wanted man. Like if I saw a cop, I'd run the other way.
But weren't you? Or
No, they didn't get
They
it.
didn't
In
care.
those days, they gave you juvenile delinquent cards and stuff
Oh,
like that.
okay.
So what happened was, I took this job at the, I worked in construction because my father's best friend ran the Iron Workers Union,
Right.
and my father was an electrician.
Okay.
So I worked in construction, and I liked it, but,
Too much hard labor.
Physical labor, for God's sakes.
Oh, the first time I went in, I had new shoes and everything, and the guy said to me, there's no dancing on this job.
So obviously, you got up to get all the bars, and you had money. You started.
That's bingo.
Bingo
Oh, the
money.
bingo
That was your
money.
bingo money. Carrie, Carrie loves to gamble. Carrie, I think this might be an idea for
No,
you.
don't tell
No,
me.
he ran the bingo hall. He didn't play the
No,
bingo.
but that's what you should do instead of playing bingo.
Oh, shush. Now
Don't
it's
be a
not
sucker.
for profit. Now it's not for profit. They don't make money, do they?
No, they don't make money.
Not anymore. So then you open your bars, then you open up this, then you manage Eddie. Is that where the big money comes in with the management?
I made a lot of money managing Eddie Murphy. I'm not saying I didn't, but
And you produced one of his movies, right?
Yeah.
Trading
I produced.
Trading
Space
Places.
2 or something.
I'm an executive producer on Cop 1 and Cop 2, and I'm in Cop 2.
You are?
At
Wait a
the
minute.
end of the movie, I'm the guy that wants to know who the black guy is.
So you were a bigwig in Hollywood back in the day.
I
Eddie
hate-
was one of the hottest comedians of
I
all
hate-
time.
I hated Hollywood.
You
Oh,
hated it.
I did too, but
I couldn't stand it. Those people, where everybody's kissing your ass because
Phony.
you manage Eddie
Yeah,
Murphy,
yeah.
and I'm like,
Yeah,
you're a
exactly.
guy from the Bronx. You're down to earth.
well, getting back to that, I kept turning him down. And then finally I said to him, why do you keep fucking asking me?
This is before you were managing.
And
Okay.
he said, my mother. I said, your mother. He said, yeah, I told my mother I didn't trust anybody, that even the black guys were screwing me over. And she said, well, do you trust anybody? And I told her, yeah, I trust Richie Teinken. And she said, why don't you ask Richie? So I said to him, so if we fuck this up, we can blame your mother.
Yeah, exactly.
Anyway, we didn't fuck it up. but-
No, that was his big. I think like that was the biggest time for him. Were all those movies?
Yes.
When you were with
Yeah,
him
yeah, yeah,
after you.
How many years were you together?
About 11.
After you, he did like a Disney movie. Then he did do that musical, and
Were you
but-
there for Coming to America, or was
No,
that
it
after
was,
you?
we just had ended by that time.
So you didn't have Arsenio Hall in your...
No,
No.
but Bob Wax did. That's another story.
he managed. Arsenio Hall wasn't very nice to carry.
No.
He wasn't a very good person.
He's a little bit of a whack job. But whatever.
That's what fame does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, they think they can say anything to anybody and do anything, and it's just okay.
They all think that.
Are you still friendly with Eddie Murphy? How is it now?
I haven't spoken to Eddie in years since we broke up, but I did speak to him about 5 years after we broke up. They called me at my house and said, Eddie Murphy's here looking for you. And it's 11 o'clock at night.
At your house, he comes.
No, they called me at the here.
Oh, here. Oh, okay.
So my initial reaction was, really? Fuck Eddie Murphy.
Oh God.
So they said, well, I said, here's what you do. Tell Eddie I'll be there at 10 o'clock tomorrow night. If he wants to see me, I'll be there. So I was there at 10 o'clock the next night here. And he walked in. And he had on this Louis Farrakhan outfit, you know, that crap with the...
The bow tie and the suit.
Well, with the hat and the...
Oh.
So now I'm thinking, okay, what am I going to say to him? I can either say, fuck you, or... So
Was
he
it a
went-
bad fight? Obviously, you broke up.
I lived with this guy, and we broke up over the phone.
He broke up with you over the phone?
I was telling him something that I thought he was doing wrong. It was about a girl.
About a girl.
He was taking advantage of a situation, and I said, well, this is not right, Eddie. What's the matter with you?
Yeah.
This girl thinks she's going to do a movie with you.
Right.
And he said, well, I ain't doing any movie with her. I said, yeah, but why did you tell her you were going to?
Right.
Well, it was because she got him other girls.
Oh, she would bring him back girls.
So I was like, oh, man. And not this dream for her was to make a movie.
Right. So she's basically
Was she an
being a-
actress, comedian? What was she?
No, she was just somebody that hung around in Hollywood.
Okay. She was pretty?
No.
She got the
Oh,
pretty
she
girls.
got
She
the
brought
girls.
the pretty girls.
Oh,
she
she
was the
brought
pimp.
them, yeah.
She was the pimpette.
So what happened was we had a fight over the phone, and I said to him, are you home? Which was Englewood. And he said, yeah. I said, well, I'm going to fly back tonight. I want to see you tomorrow morning about 10 o'clock. I got to his house at 10 o'clock. He was gone.
Really?
He went to L.A.
So that was the
That's
breakup.
how we broke up.
That's how he broke up, by just not showing
Then
up. He doesn't call
then
you
I
anything.
I got a letter from a lawyer saying that he no longer required my services.
He doesn't. Yeah, that's terrible. That's terrible after everything you did for
Well,
that
he
guy.
got big.
Yeah, he got too big for his britches.
He got big. He got big in his head.
If you're in Hollywood, everybody's whispering to you.
Right, right. You can do better. You can do this. You can do that.
Who's this manager? He's a guy from the Bronx. He's a,
He might have regretted it after.
I don't know.
In any event,
So he came in. And I said to him, what are you doing here? He said, well, you know, I'm going out on tour. I said, really?
This was after he broke off with you.
This
He's
is
back.
five
Okay.
years later.
All right.
And he said, I'm going to go out on tour. I got a movie coming out. And you know that. That's why I do movies, so I go on tour.
Right.
So I said, well, what do you want to work out? And he said, yeah. I said, all right.
He wants to work out in your club, you're saying.
He wants to go up.
Okay.
So I said, all right, I'll tell the MC. And I told him that he was going to go up. I said, all right, 5 minutes, you're on. So he gets ready to go, and I said, well, have a good set. And he said, aren't you going to watch me? And I said, well, I hadn't planned on it.
You're not his manager, right?
I was still pissed at him.
Yeah.
So he goes up, and he sucked. There was nothing funny. There was nothing of the old Eddie. There was... So he get off, he says to me, what do you think? So I said, come outside, and we step by the podium. I said, let me understand this. You have a movie coming out. So you're going to go out on tour. He said, yeah, I always did that. You know that.
Right.
I said, well, here's what I think. You better hope that movie bombs. Because you don't have an act.
Oh, my God.
Anyway, the movie was Boomerang.
Boomerang. Did that do well?
Think about it. You don't know
I didn't see it.
no, I don't think it
Wasn't
did.
he in it with... Was Steve Martin in that movie?
No, it was girl Robin Gibbons, I think, was in it.
Yeah, I don't think it did great.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay.
But he, no, I haven't spoken to Eddie.
And that was
in
the
years.
end of it after that.
Well, I didn't see him.
I went to Eddie Murphy's house, the one over here in New Jersey,
How long
And-
ago, Carrie?
years ago. Back in the day when he did Coming to America with Arsenio,
Arsenio.
because I knew Arsenio. And I think Eddie thought me and him were going to hook up, and I was like, no. And I left.
Eddie thought everybody was going to hook up with
Well,
him.
that, 'cause probably
That's
most of
because
them
they
did.
But I didn't. And then my friend and I left. My friend was like, I'll hook up with him. I'm like, he don't want you.
He wants a good
You're
looking
short
girl.
and fat. So we leave.
You have good feet, Carrie?
Yeah, I did. I did. I don't know if I do
They
anymore.
told me Whitney Houston, you didn't like her feet.
That's so
Yeah.
funny.
Well, get this. Like 30 years later, I see him here in your club. And I go, Eddie! And he turns around and I go, you don't remember me? And he looked at me and I go, I was in your house. He goes, nah. No, you weren't. And I go, you know, I was. And he goes, no. I go, okay. In your house, you walk in, to the left is the bathroom, to the right, straight ahead is your office, to the right you had some sort of a library, whatever it was, a billiard room. Am I right? Okay. And he had a cardboard cutout of him in the black leather outfit in the bathroom, in that bathroom. Am I right? Okay. And I said all this to him, and he went like this.
I guess she was in my house.
Eddie was, I looked at Eddie like, holy shit, I'm going to manage this kid. And I said to myself, he's a kid.
Yeah.
I'm going to make sure
Nobody hurts him.
that he doesn't just, he hired all his friends to be his bodyguards and all
Right.
that.
Yeah,
These
yeah.
guys were looking to get laid, and that's all they cared about.
And money, and make money.
I
off of
remember
it.
when he would come in here, I remember having a work. I did a spot after him, after he performed here. And he came in, he always had an entourage. The guy never showed up by himself. And you'd be in that little back area before you go on. And I would be shitting myself because the person you never want to follow is Eddie Murphy, who's just crushing in this room. And all his bodyguard buddy guys, there'd always be like 6 guys. He always traveled with 6
Yeah,
guys.
they were his buddies.
Yeah, and he would just crush it in this room back in the day.
So let me ask you, Richie, did you ever want to manage anyone else after him?
No.
Was he the only guy you managed?
Yeah,
Rock.
I managed
Tony
Tony
Rock.
Rock, and I worked a little with Adam Sandler.
Didn't you? You did some stuff for Chris Rock, though, didn't you? Didn't you help him out too?
What? I'll tell you the Chris Rock story. Chris Rock used to clean the tables at 2 o'clock in the morning, so I would put him up late at night. And he never did good. And then one night Eddie came in and said to me, "Do you have any black acts?" And I said, "Well, usually we don't, but I went to Lucian. You remember Lucian?"
Lucian Hold, of course. I loved Lucian.
I said to Lucian, "Do we have any black acts?" And he said, "Well, we have that kid Chris Rock. He cleans the tables late at night and stuff." But I didn't want Eddie to leave because when Eddie Murphy was here, this place was packed.
Right.
So I said, "Okay, put him up." So I went to Chrissy and said, "Look, Eddie Murphy's here." And Chris was like, "Yeah, I know." I said, "He wants to see a black act, and you're it."
You're the only black guy for miles. You're on.
So I said to him, "Chrissy, if you don't think you're doing well, don't worry about it. Just get off."
Yeah.
And he went. He did great.
He did great.
And Eddie loved him.
Eddie took him down by the ice machine, and that's how he got Beverly Hills Cop too.
Oh yeah, that's right. Chris was in that. He had a small part in that
Yeah,
movie.
but Eddie helped him get on Saturday Night Live too, right?
I don't remember.
I think Chris, when Eddie helped him a lot.
Eddie,
He took him under his wing, I guess, right?
Eddie had a habit of, like Paul Reiser. He put Paul Reiser in Beverly Hills Cop.
Paul Reiser was a regular here.
Yeah, Paul was a regular. So was with Jerry and them were best friends.
Yeah.
They both like Carol Leifer.
They both like Carol Leifer?
Yeah.
Oh my God, I
And
remember.
she didn't date either one of them? That idiot.
You know, she's a lesbian now, Carol Leifer.
Oh, well.
But back in the day,
She wasn't.
all the guys liked her. And I went to a party at Lucian's house, okay? And Lucian's brother is there with a date. Now, Lucian's brother used to date, I don't know if date or whatever. They used to bang Carol. Okay, Carol Leifer, they used to bang. So Lucian's brother is at this party with his girlfriend. And Carol shows up, and Carol starts, like, sitting on his lap, and she's like, they're playing volleyball, and she's laying on top of him, they're rolling around in the dirt.
And the
And the girlfriend's there looking like an asshole. She wants to leave. I guess someone drives her home, whatever happens, and Carol and Lucian's brother are making out. Lucian takes his brother, right in front of everybody, goes, "How dare you treat your girlfriend like that with Carol?" Those two start having a fist fight in
That's
the
Lucian.
kitchen.
Thank
The
God.
two of them are beating the piss out of each other in the kitchen over Carol Leifer. You know, and Carol Leifer, why is she trying to bang a guy who's got his girlfriend there? I mean, the whole thing.
Especially when she's gay.
Well, I guess she wasn't.
My head MC was Jerry.
Jerry Seinfeld was your head MC.
And guess who started going out with Jerry?
Her.
And she had been dating Paul Reiser.
She dated them all.
But didn't Carol Leifer write for, didn't she write
she
for
wrote
the
for Seinfeld, yeah.
Seinfeld.
And Elaine is the character based on her.
Her, right.
Because she used to date Jerry, and Elaine used to date Jerry.
But there's a million stories with that.
Well, I want to ask you, who's the funniest, though? Like, all these guys. Okay, you see Seinfeld, George Wallace, Rock, Reiser, William, Robin Williams. Who for you was like, oh, my God, that guy's so funny?
Eddie.
Eddie's the funniest.
I thought he was great.
I looked at him and went, let me tell you what
Such a
happened.
natural.
A lot of charisma, the guy.
You know Bob Nelson?
Yes.
Yes.
Bob was a regular here, and he said to me one night, "You know, I'm part of a threesome we're called the Identical Triplets. It was him, Rob Bartlett, and this guy, Eddie Murphy." Now, I hear the name Eddie Murphy, I'm thinking he's an Irishman.
Right, Murphy.
That's right. Eddie Murphy does sound like an Irish guy.
He said, "You should see him, Richie. He's very funny." So I said, well, let him come in next Monday night, because Monday was audition night.
Right.
What I forgot was that I wasn't working that Monday. Bob Wax was working.
Right. The other owner, right? The other owner of the comic strip. Okay.
He's dead too.
He's dead. You never got along with that guy, right? Did you like him? Or
He
no?
managed Eddie with me because of me.
Okay.
So, on Tuesday, Bob Nelson calls me and says that he wants to apologize. And I'm like, oh shit. I said, I didn't want to say apologize for what? Because that meant I didn't want to admit that I screwed up.
Right.
So I said, Bob, let me get back to you. And I called Bob Wax. And I said, was there a kid there last night named Eddie Murphy?
Right.
He said, yeah, I threw him out.
You threw him out.
I said, what do you mean you threw him out? He said, well, he came in, he wanted the owner. And I told him I was the owner. And he said, well, when am I going up? And I said to him, well, you'll go up when I tell you can go up. And if you don't like that, you can leave. So Eddie left. So I called Bob Nelson back and I said, look, this is totally my fault. I said, I wasn't there.
Right.
I said, tell Eddie that I'm sorry and to come in next Monday because I'll make sure I'm there. And he came in the next Monday. I watched him and said, holy shit, this kid's hysterical.
This kid's a star.
Yeah, yeah.
So,
You knew from when you first saw him, right?
oh, yeah. He was so talented.
I remember, like, when I would watch Saturday Night Live, I couldn't wait. Like, that was one of the times
Eddie
when you,
was my guy.
when you would watch Saturday Night Live, you would wait for him to do, you know, Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood or all those.
Or Buckwheat.
The thing with that he would do with
I'll
Joe,
tell you.
Joe
Gumby. He
Piscopo,
was
the two.
Gumby.
Oh my God.
Oh, yeah, Frank Sinatra.
They were
Stevie
right.
Wonder.
They were all classics, and they're still funny today.
Eddie,
You know? But I don't know why that guy doesn't. Why do you think he doesn't do? Why do you think he doesn't do stand up anymore?
Why do I think?
Yeah.
Because I think the public made him into some kind of icon.
Right.
And I don't know whether he can live up to it or not.
Yeah, that's true.
It doesn't matter if people want to see Eddie Murphy. He could come out and do his old act. People would love it.
Didn't you say? Well, I remember once I think you told me that he would go on the road, like, and then he didn't even write a new act.
No.
Like a year later, he'd go back out on the road with the same act a year later if he had another movie.
People loved him.
He would do the same act.
When we did Beverly Hills Cop,
Yeah.
Eddie had done a movie called 48 Hours.
I love
that was a
48
great
Hours.
movie.
That was a great.
48 Hours was directed by Walter Hill.
Who?
Walter Hill.
Oh, okay.
Walter Hill.
Walter Hill dated Eddie's agent. So, Paramount had a script called Beverly Hills Cop
Okay.
that they gave to Stallone.
Okay.
And they had told Stallone that if you change one word of this, we're not going to do it. That's why you see Bridget Nielsen in it, because Stallone was married to her then.
Oh yeah, that's right. That was a crazy marriage.
But he took the script home and changed it.
He did.
And Paramount said, well, we're not going to do it then. So Hildy Gottlieb said, why don't you give it to Eddie Murphy? Because look at what happened with 48 Hours. And so they gave him the script. And I'm sitting in the office reading it with him. And it ain't funny. It's a good movie, but it ain't funny.
Right.
This is why I love Eddie Murphy.
Okay.
I said to him, what do you think? He said, oh man, I really want to do this. So I said, Eddie, this movie isn't funny. He said, oh, I'll make it funny.
Yeah. See, that is the truth.
That thing with the banana in the tailpipe, he made that up.
Oh really?
Yeah. The thing with the gay guy, when he's acts gay for the
Oh yeah.
Boston push, yeah.
Yeah.
And he made that up right there.
See, that is what makes somebody a
I
really
used to
great
stand there
comedian.
and just go, my God, what's he doing?
Yeah.
But I thought it was wonderful. One time, we were on the road, and he told me he wasn't going to wear the red suit. And I said to him, what? He said, yeah, I just want to see if they think I'm funny anyway. I said, I think you're making a big mistake. So he said, and my attitude was always, okay, some things I can fight with him about, other things he said, I'll learn by himself.
Right.
So he went out. And you could tell the audience when he walked out on stage with a sports jacket and a shirt.
Oh yeah, throws him
They were
off.
kind of like,
Who
"Fuck
is this guy?"
So I listened to him, and he walked off and said, I said, how'd you do? He said, oh, I did okay. So I said, yeah, you did okay. You, I don't understand. It's the whole picture.
It's a character.
It's
Yeah,
the
you
red
didn't have the
suit,
character,
it's
right.
the comedy, it's everything.
Right, right.
Eddie Murphy was the only comic I ever heard of that girls threw underwear at. On stage.
Really?
Like Elvis.
And like, what's his name? Tom Jones. Hey, wait a minute. Didn't you go on the road with Tom Jones?
Tom was a good friend of mine.
He's a good friend of yours.
Yeah, he still is, I guess. I don't know. I
He,
haven't
he
talked-
wrote a book about, he even said in his own book that he's married, but he had like,
Hookers.
he always had girlfriends on the side.
Tom had a sock in his pants.
I knew it.
Come on, wait a minute.
Harry, I knew it. I
Wait a
said
minute.
that.
Harry said that to me because I said
He had
a sock
listen,
in his pants.
He
You saying,
put the weirdest thing down his pants all the like he had this big wad down his leg,
Can
and
I
it was
t-
so weird looking.
can I tell you, I thought I was watching, because I was in love with Tom Jones from the time I was in middle school. I used to watch the Tom Jones special, which was a variety
was
show.
way before my
Yeah,
time.
it's like, that's how fucking old I am. And, but I remember once with the Tonight Show, he's singing and he's got his legs spread and he's swinging his hips. And he's got white slacks so you can see every, nook and cranny, with a big long thing going down the side of his leg.
What
And
was that? Why did he
I
do
am
that?
watching this like, what the F is going on with this guy?
I used to do the Tropicana in Vegas, and I knew the sound guy that did Tom Jones's. So he would go, when your show's over, just shoot over. So I would run over there, and I would see that thing. I'm like, what is down his pants?
It was a
Jones,
sock?
I was with him one night.
Sock.
I'm devastated.
Yeah.
I thought that was him.
No, it ain't him.
What, is he? Wait a minute. Is he little? Are you saying
Well,
he's
he
little?
doesn't know.
You might know. You've seen him naked,
If you,
maybe.
no, I haven't. Anyway, if he's putting a sock in his pants, I don't want to see him naked.
Exactly.
We were in a restaurant one night. It was about 2 o'clock in the morning. They were closing.
Right.
This is why I love Tom. And the guy says, Mr. Jones, we're closing, so we got up to leave, and we walked outside. We were in a hotel, and we
Right.
walked out into the lobby, and that little old lady standing there. And I said to Tom, we better get out of here. And he said, no, let me. So she said, Mr. Jones, would you sign a picture for me? Would you sign your autograph for me? And he said, sure, darling. And then he asked her her name, and he signed it. And then he said to her, why don't you take a picture with Richie? And I'm looking at him like, what are you doing?
What is he doing? He's trying to get you some action.
So I took a picture with him, and I said to him, let me tell you something. I think that was great that you did that. That woman you made that night. He said, Richie, that's about the 500th time that I've given her my autograph.
Oh my God, she's a stalker.
She's here every night.
She's selling them. Well, let me ask you something, another thing. While you were managing and touring all over the world with Eddie, were you married?
No, well, I was,
I'm just looking to see if we have any comments.
I was
Okay.
with somebody, but I wasn't,
But you weren't married.
I wasn't married. I'm married to
Jeannie.
Jeannie.
Jeannie, I
Now,
love Jeannie.
but that's after.
Yeah.
That's after.
Jeannie's always been the love of my life.
Yeah,
Well,
she's
she's
great.
mine too. She's
beautiful,
adorable.
beautiful, and
She's gorgeous.
yeah, absolutely.
I always thank JJ.
JJ Ramirez brought her in.
One night he came up to me. Now, Jeannie was a tough guinea. And she smoked. And she used to sit at the bar with a cigarette hanging out of her mouth. And I go like, wow, this chick's
Hey,
pretty.
that's back when you could smoke.
Oh, he could
In the
smoke
comedy clubs. I'd be covered with smoke when I got home, yeah?
So, I always was watching her.
You were watching her?
She was a waitress here.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
So I didn't want to do anything because she was JJ's girlfriend. And
She was JJ's girlfriend?
That's what JJ told me.
Yeah, I don't believe it.
Everybody,
I don't believe it.
everybody was JJ's girlfriend.
Yeah. It's like saying
So-
Angel Salazar, too. Same thing.
Angel Salazar, wow. So, one night JJ says to me, can you do me a favor? And I said, what? He said, you know my girlfriend Jean? I said, yeah. That's the girl that works here, right? Of course I knew what he was talking about.
You're playing dumb.
So he said, yeah. He said, well, she wants to talk to you. She has some ideas about improving the club. And I was like, oh, I don't really want to do this. But so I said, all right, just figure out a time and we'll do it. 10 minutes later, he walks back in. He said, oh, she's here now. So I said, so you want me to talk to her now? He said, if you could. Now, Patty, you remember we used to have booths out there.
Right. They used to have booths
Yeah, I
where you could
remember
sit.
the booth.
The tables you can hang out.
So I walked out, and she was standing right by the podium. And I said to her, you're Jeannie, right? She said, yeah. I said, well, I'm Richie. She said, I know you. I work for you.
You signed my check.
So I said to her, JJ told me you have some things you want to talk to me about. And she said, yeah, but I don't have this stuff with me. I have it all written down and stuff. And so I said to her, why don't we sit down for a second, we'll talk. Maybe you can remember them or something. So we sat in the booth, and I said to her, let me ask you a question. She said, what? I said, are you JJ's girlfriend? She blew. What? He tells everybody that. I said, all right, let me understand this. He's not your boyfriend. She said, no.
Look at her. Would she date him, really?
I said,
Gary.
I said to her, when do you think you'll have all that stuff? Like your ideas? She said, oh, I'll bring it tomorrow. I said, well, why don't we just have dinner tomorrow? And
Wow, very smooth, Mr. Tinken.
Yeah,
We
you
did.
got in there.
Very
we did it.
smooth.
And she never told me her ideas.
Ah, she had other ideas.
Yeah, she had a
So did you end up getting married and having kids? How many kids did you have together?
Jeannie had a kid before she met
Jackie.
you.
Yeah, but Jackie's my daughter. I mean,
Yeah, but you raised her. Yeah, absolutely. She was little.
and I have two boys.
With her.
with
Very
Jeannie.
handsome.
So Jackie's your girl.
Yeah, well, I have two kids from another marriage, so two girls.
Got a lot of kids.
So hold on. So now you have 5.
I have 6 grandchildren.
But you have 5 kids. Wow, good for you.
You know, we're running out. We're running out of time because we've got to go. But we want to thank you for coming on the show.
Oh, it's my pleasure.
We loved your
What time
stories
is it? Is
about
it-
Eddie Murphy. It's late. He's got it.
It's after 9?
He
Ooh.
has to get going.
Well, I still got plenty of stories. I'll do this again with you if you want. But I have stories about Tom Parker. He was Elvis's manager.
Oh, okay.
Now, you met all these people before you managed Eddie or after you married?
With Eddie.
Yeah.
With Eddie. So, well, because everybody wanted to, meet Eddie, and you made all.
Parker called Eddie. He told me I had a great product. And I said, product.
Eddie being
Meaning
the
Eddie
product.
is the product. That's
Wow.
how he talks
Yeah.
about him.
Dehumanizing
That's
a
it.
person.
That's how they see things. Some
I
of these
said,
guys.
I don't understand what you mean. He said, well, I have a product. I said, who's your product? What's your product? He said, I had Elvis. And I was like,
See, he
holy
did
shit.
saw him as a product. That's terrible. That's not fucking
And I
right.
told Eddie,
I don't mind if somebody sees me as a product if they can make me famous.
I'll make this as fast as possible. So I told Eddie that I just had lunch with Tom Parker, and Eddie He said, "Oh man, I want to meet him."
This is Colonel Parker. This is his big manager. Okay.
So I said, "What do you want to meet him for?" Because I don't like the guy.
Yeah.
He said, "Well, he's Elvis's."
Yeah, the king.
So now I'm figuring how I'm gonna do this. So Eddie goes down to the casino. And he comes about 12 o'clock. He comes back up and he says to me, "That fucking douchebag." I said, "What are you
fucking
talking
douchebag.
about?" "Your friend," he says, "Parker." So I said, "What happened?" Here's what happened. Eddie was playing, Parker was playing baccarat. Parker was a big gambler.
Right.
With Elvis's money.
Yeah, with 50% of Elvis's money. That was his take.
And he goes, he's on baccarat, and Eddie walks over to baccarat because he wants to know what it is. Parker rubs his head. Down south, that's for good luck.
To rub a black guy's head.
Yeah.
Oh,
Eddie
that's
knew
so
it.
racist.
Oh my God.
So I said to Eddie, "So you don't want to meet him?"
You rubbed his head. Oh, that's so humiliating.
So that was over.
Oh, that was it. Oh my God. Thank you so much for coming on the show.
My pleasure.
You're the best.
You are. You
And
got a great club.
we
It's
love the
still
club.
going after 40 years.
46 years or whatever
No,
it is.
43 in June.
43. Okay.
40. It's still going. It's still a hot club. People
Thanks for
still,
letting us-
comics want to work here all the time.
And letting us use your podcast room. We love it.
It's
And,
actually Tommy's room.
oh, yeah.
Tommy built it.
I love it. It's
You gotta
great.
love it,
Thank
yeah.
you so much.
The great thing about this club is like a family.
Yeah.
Everybody.
Yeah, absolutely.
I had somebody say to me one night, "Are you going to remodel?" And I looked at them and said, "You think the Museum of Art will remodel?" I said, "I'm not changing any of this."
Right.
You can't. It's that's what makes it so amazing. It's
very
the
cool.
you know what I mean? Then
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
a different club. Then don't call it the comic
Absolutely.
strip.
It's like the Yankee Stadium. I mean, come on. They built a new stadium, but who doesn't want the old Yankee Stadium? I'm pissed that they did the new. I
I
mean, of
miss-
course they make more money now,
I
but
miss Shea Stadium.
oh yeah, well yeah. All right, we got to go because Adam has to get out of
Go.
here. And we just want to say, come down to the comic strip.
82nd
It's a
and
great club.
2nd.
82nd and 2nd. They have shows here every night of the week.
Thank you, Richie.
Thank you,
Teinken.
Richie Teinken. I'd also like to say Patreon, mofos, patreon.com
.com/2 tight
slash Two Tired Trots. Please feel free to donate and to subscribe and to
Leave us a review
leave
if
us
you
a
like our
review.
show.
All right. And Adam Henniker, thank you for being our sound guy, and we kept you late tonight. I'm very sorry. All right.
My partner, John McGowan, because I always did things with my partners. When Eddie asked me to manage him, I said, "John, you want to manage Eddie with me?" John told me he didn't want to work with a Schwarzer.
Are you kidding me?
There's a lot of racist
What the
people
hell
out
is
there.
this with all these racist people?
It's
Listen,
horrible.
Let's think of his name, John McGowan.
Right.
Oh my
It's sad.
God, it's so stupid. And
Then
look,
you-
the
then you-
the laughs on them. They could have made a lot. It could have made
Years
a lot of
later,
money.
he told everybody that I screwed him out of it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
Because all my friends were his friends, and they said to him,
right.
"What happened?"
Yeah. That's terrible. All right, we're out.
Thank you
Goodbye.
very much.
Thank you, Mr. Teinken.
I have more stories about Bob Wax.
Okay, all right. We're going to hear those one day.
Don't
All right,
forget to
darling.
take those
Don't
off.
forget to take your
You'll get
headphones
snapped
off.
back. Thank you, everybody, for
Thank
listening.
you. Goodbye.
I think my voice was all right.
Yeah.
Yeah, your voice was good.
See, people were all saying, see, they were all commenting, so they were understanding what you were saying.
You just turned you up. So you're good.
I just don't